Good morning, class. Or should I say good afternoon? Now, I need you to look around you, and I need you to ensure you have all your equipment with you. Your pen, your pencil, your ruler, and you've also got a green pen. I'm just going to give you a few seconds to do that. Okay, shall we begin? Now, so far so good, we have been looking at homeostasis. And our LO is going to remain the same, which is to understand homeostasis and thermoregulation. Like we always do, I need you to write the learning objective. Are you done? Well done. Now, last lesson, we actually covered the different types of control system we have. I want you to take 10 minutes to try and answer these questions. Pause the video and answer it. Okay, are you done? Brilliant. So can you bring out your green pen out, because we're going to be marking our works. So the first question is asking, what is homeostasis? Can you guess what homeostasis is? Alright, are you sure your answer is right? Okay, let's have a look. Alright, from last lesson. Now, from last lesson, we know that homeostasis is the regulation of internal conditions of a cell or organism to maintain its optimum condition of functions in cell responses to internal and external changes. Alright? If you got it right, give yourself a tick. If you haven't, make sure you correct your mistakes. Now, the next question is asking us, what are the conditions that the body needs to control? Alright? We've got water. Did you get that right? Well done. We've got the blood sugar level. Did you get that right? Well done. And we've got temperature. Alright? Remember we talked about running and you actually sweating, and what happens when you're really cold as well. Alright? Good. Now the next question is asking us, what is the role of the nervous system? Now, from yesterday's lesson or last lesson, we know that the nervous system uses electrical impulses to communicate in the body, or to communicate around the body to send information. Now, informations are carried through our nerves by electrical impulses. Alright? Does that make sense? Good. And the second question is asking us, what is the role of the endocrine? From last lesson, we said the endocrine uses chemical messengers, which are called hormones, to send information. Can you also figure out as an extension which one is really fast and which one is slow? I want to hear you say it out loud. Well done. The nervous system is actually fast and the endocrine is slow. Alright? Well done to everybody. How many of you got full marks? You got a full mark? That's really good. So anyways, we're going to continue with this topic. Alright? So we're going to be looking at the parts of the body that is involved in this. Alright? Now, we've got the kidney, okay, which has a role of regulating water and mineral salt concentration. It is very important to understand that too much salt is not good for you because it could damage your kidney. And once your kidney is damaged, one of the things they use to check it is by looking at your urine. If they discover that there are protein inside your urine, it means there's a damage to your kidney. So it is very important to avoid taking too much salt. But anyways, what you need to understand is the kidney actually regulates water and mineral salt concentration. We've also got the skin, right? Now, this should be very obvious here. The skin actually regulates body temperature. Remember, the pores of the skin is open and then we sweat, alright? And whenever we're really cold, we start to develop what we call goosebumps. I'm sure we all know what goosebumps is. And lastly, we've got our pancreas and liver. This actually controls our blood sugar level. When we have too much sugar in our body, too much glucose in our body, it tries to reduce it. If we got less, it tries to find an alternative of getting the glucose back. Alright? Now, let's talk about this control system, okay? Now, what happens is, because I'm sure we're probably curious how this information is passed around the body, okay? Now, it follows a particular sequence, right? First of all, you need to know that the control system works automatically when conditions change, alright? The control system in the body have the same pattern. So in your exam, whatever situation it is, just remember that pattern is the same, okay? First of all, what happens is whenever there's a change, a receptor detects that change. When that receptor detects that change, alright, the information is passed on to what we call the coordination center. And then, after it's been processed in the coordination center, it comes to the effector where that action is taken. To help you remember this, think about the word race, but this time remove A from it. So receptor, coordination center, and effector. Alright? Brilliant. Can we move on? Good. Now, the control system. Let's have a look. What is the pattern of control system? Let's talk about the function of each. So, the receptor. Receptors are grouped of specialized cells, and they are the ones that detect changes in the environment, which are called stimuli. Remember, I mentioned stimuli in the last lesson. Changes in the environment. Now, receptors are often located in the sense of organs. For example, we've got your skin, we've got your eyes, and we've got your ear. Receptors are there. Okay? Now, when we say coordination center, this is where the information is being processed. Okay? Alright? They received information and it's processed. Alright? From the receptor. And then examples of these coordination centers are the brain, the spinal cord, and pancreas. Alright? Make sure you have that at the back of your mind. And lastly, the effector, where the action is taking place. Now, the effector brings about responses which restores optimal level. Remember, we want our body cells, our body organs to function in the best condition possible, which is our optimal level. That is the function of the effector. Okay? Examples of effectors are your muscles, alright, that brings about a response, or a gland secreting a hormone to restore optimum level, alright, or bring about a response. Okay? Good. Now, I want you to have a look at this question, and I want you to figure out which one, alright, is a receptor, which one is a coordination center, and which one is an effector from this reading. Pause the video and try to attempt the question. Have you managed to do it? I'll give you another few seconds. Okay. Let me read this scenario. When we get hot, temperature receptor cells in the skin detect changes to our condition. messages are sent to parts of the brain known as the hypothalamus. These contains temperature detectors of its own, which detect the temperature of the blood. This triggers a signal to the sweat glands in our skin to release sweat, also to our muscles to spread out our arms, and so increase our surface area, and messages to the muscles controlling the hair cell on our skin to lay flat. So the question now is, which one is the receptor? Now from this reading, we can already see that there's a receptor called the temperature receptor cell in the skin. That is our receptor, right? Remember, the receptors detect changes to the internal condition in our body. Now, let us find what we call the coordination center. Remember, the coordination center receives messages about internal conditions and take action. Alright? So, from this reading, I can see that it says here, messages are sent to parts of the brain known as the hypothalamus. This contains temperature detector of its own. So, hypothalamus is going to be our coordination center. Did you get that right? Well done. Make sure you're using your green pen to give yourself a tick. And the last one, we're looking for the effector. Alright? It says the muscles or gland that brings about changes to maintain optimal level. Okay? So let's have a look at this. It says this triggers a signal to the sweat gland in our skin to release sweat. Also to our muscles to spread out our arms and so increase our surface area. Okay? And messages to the controlling hair cell on our skin to lay flat. Have you spotted that yet? Well done. Alright, we're able to see the effector, which is our sweat gland on our skin. Alright, I think we've been able to answer this question already. So, what we've been able to do, alright, is to explain what homeostasis is and why it is important. We've been able to give some examples of conditions that needed to be controlled. We've also been able to describe the roles of the nervous system and the endocrine system in homeostasis. And lastly, we've been able to describe the main components of a control system and their functions. So let me know how you feel, how confident are you in this topic. Alright, I need you to write it down 1 to 10. And also, for next lesson, we're going to be looking at individual control system. So we're going to be starting with the nervous system and we're going to explain it in detail. Alright? Okay. I want you to go over to Educake and have a look at some of the questions we've set for you. Make sure you attempt them and make sure you send us an email if you do not understand any work. Have a great day.